This is day 4 of Advent of Code, and the challenge is called Camp Cleanup. Space needs to be cleared before the last supplies can be unloaded from the ships, and so several elves have been assigned the job of cleaning up sections of the camp. Every section has a unique ID number, and each elf is assigned a range of section IDs. However, as some of the elves compare their section assignments with each other, they've noticed that many of the assignments overlap. So try quickly find overlaps and reduce duplicated effort. The elves pair up and make a big list of section assignments for each pair. The puzzle input. For example, consider the following list of section assignment pairs. For the first few pairs, this list means within the first pair of elves, the first elf was assigned sections 2 to 4, while the second elf was assigned sections 6 to 8. The elves in the second pair were each assigned 2 sections. The elves in the third pair were each assigned 3 sections. One got sections 5 to 6, while the other they also got 7 plus 8 and 9. This example list uses single-digit section IDs to make it easier to draw. Your actual list might contain larger numbers. Visually, these pairs of section assignments look like this. Some of the pairs have noticed that one of their assignments fully contains the other. For example, 2 to 8 fully contains 3 to 7, and 6 6 is fully contained by 4 to 6. In pairs where one assignment fully contains the other, one elf in the pair would be exclusively cleaning sections their partner will already be cleaning. So this seems like most in need of reconsideration. In this example, there are 2 such pairs. And how many assignment pairs does one range fully contain the other? Okay, so let's look at the puzzle input. Let's copy this and let's paste it into our input text. Okay, so my understanding of this is we are looking at the pairs, so each row where there's 2 elves, and so how many assignment pairs does one range fully contain the other? Assume it's meaning like this, where 2 to 8 would also cover 3 to 7. So it says there are 2 such pairs in the example above, so that is the first one, then this is the second one. Okay, so let's get started with that. So we will be doing for each var line in input. We will then do var assignments equal line dot split, and it's a comma, I believe that's comma. Then we will do var elf1 nums equals assignments 0 dot split dash, and then we'll be doing the same thing for elf2 nums and 1. So I think this would be, wait, are we getting a count for it? Okay, it looks like a count. So we'll just grab int count equals 0. Then we'll do we'll then do elf1 nums 0. Then we'll do int 32.parse of that. If this is equal to, okay, we actually need to check both of them for this. We'll just do 2 if statements because that's easy, I guess. And then we'll do elf2 nums, and so if the first number of elf2 nums is less than or equal to the first number of elf1 nums, and the second number of elf2 nums is greater than or equal to the first number of elf1 nums. So this would be that elf2 encompasses all the sections of the first elf. So we will do for here count plus plus. Actually, we'll also just chuck the other way around into here like this. Okay, so I think this is the logic for it. So if elf2 was to do all of elf1s, it would need to do the one that elf1 is doing, so it's equal to or less than, and then also need to do for the second number greater than or equal to that number. So that's what this logic is. But then it's also checking to see if other way around, if the first elf2 number is greater than elf1's and the second one is less than equals as well. Actually no, the equals is already covered in the first one. Okay, so Let's run this console dot write line count dot to string running part 1. Yep. So let's run this and see what the output is. Oops, actually misspelled int, so I'm going to quickly change this. So now I'll rerun it and see if it works. Okay, so index was outside the bounds of the array. So line 11, that is this. Okay, I guess we've got to do some debugging. Console dot write line. We'll do this number. Then we will do this number. My bad. I'm running the input from the first, from challenge 3. I forgot to change the number there, so let's get rid of all this and let's change it to 4. Now let's run, so it should work now. Okay, it gave us number 383. So let's input that number and let's see how we went. Okay, that's not the right answer. Your answer is too low. Okay, let's test this by adding the equal sign. Actually, I think the equal sign missing here is the issue. So we'll run that and see if that changes anything. Yep, 534. So we'll return to day 4 and we will enter 534. There we go. That was correct. So part 1 is finished. Now let's go on to part 2. It seems like there is still quite a bit of duplicate work planned. Instead, the elves would like to know the number of pairs that overlap at all. In the above example, the first 2 pairs, 2426 and 2345, don't overlap, while the remaining 4 pairs, 5779, 2837, 6646 and 2648 do overlap. 4779 overlaps in section 7, 2837 overlaps all of the sections 3 through 7. So in this example, the overlapping assignment pairs is 4. In how many assignment pairs do the range overlap? Okay, that should be easy enough to do. So we'll go back here, copy this, and we will go to here, paste it all in here. So the way we check if there's any overlap would be to see if elf2nums, so we want them to be in 2 separate groups. So we either want the first number of elf1 to be greater than the second number of elf2, or the second number of elf2 to be less than the first number of elf1. So we'll change that to here. Okay, so for this, if the first number of elf1 is less than or equal to the second number of elf2, then that means there is an overlap. Or if the first number of elf2 is less than or equal to the second number of elf1, then there's an overlap. So I think that's all we need to do to run this. So let's see if it's all good. So it gave us 1000. Let's see if that is correct. Okay, that's not the right answer. Your answer is too high. So let's go back. Let's look at the input numbers and see where we went wrong. So I would have thought in this case, elf numbers, this would be the first elf numbers is less than or equal to the second number of elf2 numbers. That should be correct. Let's go through here and see where it occurs. We'll just do a console.write line for the current line and we'll see if that is correct. Okay, so yep, it did get this one. To get a better look at which lines it is including, we will do if statement here. If count is less than, if count equals 20, we will break from it, just so we can get a small sample of the ones which it's counting. So let's look at this. That should be correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, these seem to be all. No, this one is wrong. So how did this happen? So if elfnums2, which is this, is less than the first one, that didn't happen. And then if the first one, okay, yeah, I can see where it went wrong, because that should have been allowed. I think we need to add some extra logic to this if statement to make this work. Might need to just change this to an AND for it to work. You know, let's just give that a shot, see how it works. Now let's run it. So 841, let's see if that was all we needed to do to make it work. Okay, that was problem with this was we had both the checks correct. It was just if it was one or the other when it needed to be both of them. So after changing that, we have now completed part 2 of day 4. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you can see more videos that are added to this Advent of Code 2022 playlist.